Hello. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, it is a sunny one.
Yeah, so good.
We like the sunnies. The sunny ones are good. That is what is happening. We are going to dive in because I am late to the show. It was one of those mornings. The meeting ran long. And we have a hard stop. So we're going to just dive right in and continue the conversation from yesterday, all about what to look for in a program or a business coach so that you don't get scammed.
Yes.
Because we get a lot of practitioners and coaches who are either at the beginning stages, middle stages, whatever stages, who, when they begin to work with us, realize that whatever it was that they invested in prior either wasn't for them based on the vision of their business and their life.
Yep.
So it wasn't the model that felt in alignment with how they wanted to grow and work with clients or patients, or what they bought into was not at the level that they needed in order to grow.
Yes.
And for whatever reason, either because they bought off a sales page and there was no one to like interact with, or because, you know, the person who sold it to them wasn't acting in integrity with the actual prospect's best interest.
Yep.
There's a variety of reasons. And I've made this mistake.
Totally.
Before where, you know, I've bought something and I was like, oh, this isn't what I needed at all.
Shoot.
Or we've invested in something and realized this actually isn't, like, this is either too beginner, too advanced.
Yeah.
Not helpful. We're not going to do it. Like, it's not in alignment with how we even operate.
Totally.
There's a variety of reasons. And so, you know, the season being what it is, and so many practitioners and coaches wanting to go online, whether that's, you know, adding an additional revenue stream to a clinical practice, or you're in direct sales and you really want to grow and have a long-standing business that exists after you may or may not decide to continue the direct sales thing.
Yeah.
Right? Or you're just starting out and you really want to make a go of it by minimizing the mistakes and the unnecessary expenditures and all of that stuff. And I guess the question is, and Laura and I talk about this a lot, it's like, how do we teach you, what's the word? Agnostically.
Yes, that's the word.
Agnostically, so that you have the discernment and the right information needed to make the decisions for your business, your well-being, you know, in all honesty, like, without it coming off sounding like a sales pitch, because we know, like, we're not worried about that. Like, we know that will happen. We're very good at our jobs and we're good. Like, if you would like to work with us, absolutely. But also, we still want you to be discerning.
Yes.
Like, we're very discerning. So we want you to be able to discern and identify for yourself where to put your money. Because at the end of the day, we are here to make sure that you start and grow your business online in the most effective and efficient way for you. And that may or may not be working with us.
Totally.
But we're here to transform the industry regardless. Like, that's what we're here for.
Yep.
And so with that, it's like, how do you decide, where to spend the money? How do you decide so that you either don't get scammed or talked into something like, shiny object? Oh my God. Like,
Yes.
we're all susceptible to it. Like,
Yes.
let's be honest, we're all super susceptible. So what we talked about yesterday being January 26th. So if you are watching this on the replay, you can just go in and find the January 26th recording of the L&L Morning Show and watch that before we dive into this one. And we'll continue this conversation tomorrow as well, just because we're a little short on time today. But for those of you that are looking to make an investment, for those of you who have surrendered to the fact that you need to expand your skill set and you do not have any earthly clue what it is that you're doing to start and grow online, first of all, congratulations, because
yes,
that is step number one, is recognizing that you don't know what you don't know, and you don't know that you don't even know it, and you don't even know what you're doing. Step one. So now the question is, well, how do I know what I need? How do I know what I need? So do you maybe want to kick it off by, we talked yesterday, so we're not going to repeat it. Oh, and I'm going to share my screen.
Yep. Let's share it.
That, here we go. One second.
So good.
There we go. So let's go back to this conversation of the foundation. And building the foundation of the business so that if you are not at a place where you are making $250,000 to $300,000 a year.
Yep.
And we even have clients who are doing that and they still don't have this.
Yes.
Which is not recommended. But if you are not at that place, then this is definitely worthwhile listening to, because you likely don't have this foundation to grow a highly successful, highly impactful online business from.
Yep.
Whether you're a coach, you're a clinician, you're a hands-on practitioner, you're in direct sales, like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So do you want to kick it off and just do like 3, 4, 5? Every time
kick it off with a few. Just a few.
Every time I say numbers like that, it always brings me back to Monica on Friends. A little 2, 4, 5, 7, 7, 7. It always does. 7.
All right. Now I have a lot to live up to, because that is a lot of excitement around numbers. And I mean, I like numbers, so maybe I can live up to that. All right. So quick recap. If you didn't tune in yesterday, these 5 pillars, these 5 core components are the agnostic foundation for having an online business in any capacity. It does not matter what you want that to look like. If you want to make money online in some sort of way, shape, or form as a practitioner or coach, you need these 5 things. So before you can go any further, you need to know exactly who you help, how you help them, the problem you solve, the transformational outcome. If you don't have that, you don't pass go. You don't collect $200. You don't go any further than that. Then you need a way to attract those people. You need a way to find them on the cold, dark corners of the internet, and you need to be able to bring them to you in a way that, makes sense, and in a way that opens up a conversation and a relationship between you and them where they can clearly see how you help. That's continued in the KLT plus E sequence, which is where you nurture them. Know, like, trust, engage. This is where they move from kind of their awareness at the point where they meet you to a place where they're actually in a position to move into the next pillar, which is now what we're going to talk about, which is getting to the yes. Here's the thing that we see advertised on the Facebook and the gram all day, every day, that coaches and practitioners fall prey to. Okay, so here's the cold, hard truth. You have to have some sort of sales conversation in order to have a business.
Yes.
And you have to have that conversation multiple times a day, pretty much every day.
Say it again for the people in the back.
Like, this is a hard stop. There is no such thing as a business on the internet in like practitioner coach land or any land that doesn't involve some sort of sales conversation. And yes, it's uncomfortable. And so what we see over and over and over again is all of these advertisements of like how to just like effortlessly enroll people into your programs without, selling, how to like avoid selling on the internet, how to use this one tactic. I'm just going to stop. It doesn't exist because those are headlines, and underneath is just another way to teach you how to sell. And most of the time, not a good way if that's the way it's being led with. So here's the thing. You need a process in which you have conversations with people to see if they have the problem that you solve and if you can help them. Yes. And you need a way for them to say yes to the invitation into transformation from where they are now to where they want to be through your program. And that is sales. There's no way, shape, or form around it.
And I want to just add here, because I had somebody email me to ask if they could have a successful online business with just a website. And, the short answer is no. No. That does not work anymore. And so if the expectation, and if this is the program where even, somebody's like, okay, run a challenge and enroll clients, they're forgetting that you still have to sell them. Like there's still a conversation, right? Whether you do it off of a webinar, a sales call, a private message, there still has to be that sales process that you measure and track, because when it comes to growing a profitable, long-standing business, I want you to want to have your business here for 10 plus years, right? And I don't think that I don't think you think like that. I don't think you think like that. And I think that you're so in the acute, I need to make money, that we're not thinking about what are the, supporting beams. Like we're going to go back to the house. Like these 5+1 things are the supporting beams that hold up your house.
Yes.
And if you don't have the supporting beams, your house crumbles.
Yes.
And so when you have a haphazard business, when you are hoping that clients find your website and you're hoping that people attend your webinar and you're hoping that they engage with you in your Facebook group and you hope that you get clients, that is like having a house made of popsicle sticks.
Totally. And here's the thing. Yes, if you have not been in sales before, sales can be uncomfortable, 100%. But do you know what's more uncomfortable? Having no sweet clue how to actually run a sales conversation.
Yeah.
Heading into those conversations completely unprepared, like a deer in the headlights, where you don't know how to take charge. You don't know what questions to ask. You don't know how to not sound like, an awkward, salesy, that's more uncomfortable. And one way or the other, nothing happens in business until you make a sale. Nothing. So you can either choose to be unprepared and feel like that and likely not make sales, because we've all been in that really uncomfortable other side of the desk position where somebody is like clearly terrified of you and clearly terrified to sell you the thing you actually want. It's not great. Yeah. Or you can choose to say, okay, this is the pillar that has to support the kitchen because, I don't know, a roof has to go on top of it. I'm not a construction person, but you can say that and you can be like, okay, cool. Let's go and source the best possible pillar we can source that actually holds up the things it has to hold up, so everybody in the kitchen doesn't get like suffocated.
So I think the key here is when you are looking to have a successful, so I'm going to dial it back, to the very beginning. Delivering client transformation as a coach or a practitioner is not the same thing as having a successful online business, because you can deliver results and be very, very broke.
Yep.
You can do that. You don't need to have a business to transform lives. Full stop. So if all you are interested in is helping people to transform their lives, cool. Then release the pressure to have a successful business.
Yes.
Because you don't need, right? You don't need to have a successful, financially successful business to deliver client transformation. You can work with people for free all day long and deliver transformation.
Yep.
Although I would argue that you would get better results if they actually paid you, but I'll leave that there. Right? So let's separate you as a coach or a practitioner and the client results from the business.
Yeah.
Let's separate it, because if you want to have a profitable, impactful business that happens to transform lives and have it be around for more than a decade.
Yep.
You need the supporting beams.
You do.
And you need all of them in the right places. And so buying, for example, a course that's going to teach you, a standalone course that's going to teach you how to run a profitable webinar without the component plus one in place, without the lead gen in place, without the nurture in place, without sales, and without a program that you can actually grow, even though the webinar program might seem like this is all you need to have a successful online business, that's only true after you have the supporting beams in place.
Yes.
And so what we're saying is, when you're going to look for someone to mentor you, to train you, to help you develop the skill sets as a business owner that you need, so that you can coach, so that you can transform lives and earn a good living out of it, we want you to stop thinking as about these individual one-off support beams. And unless you have a fluid system, right, that has lead gen, nurture, sales, and automated program delivery, it doesn't matter if that's a membership site or a physical product, it does not matter. Unless you have those things, you should not be buying one-off tactics.
Nope.
Period. They will not work for you. They will overwhelm you, and it is a waste of money.
Yes.
Unless you have the support beams in place, buying these one-off, how to run a challenge and how to do a webinar and your website and, blah, blah, whatever.
Yep.
That is level 2. So now for those of you that are doing like 300,000 a year, now you can double down on a particular pillar.
Totally.
That you are weak in, and that's where you would go and invest in someone who's going to give you those specific skill sets.
Totally.
That's the difference, right? The difference is where you are at. And if you do not have these 5+1 pillars, these supporting beams in place at the outset, buying a strategy based program, investment, coach, whatever, will not help you. It will actually make it worse. Then, next paragraph, if you are making over 300,000, now you can double down on an individual pillar. And strengthen one at a time, these individual pillars. That's how you get to $1 million.
Yes. Such a good way to explain it. Such a good way.
So again, whether you decide to work with us ever or not, I want you to think about, do I have the foundational pillars of business in place? Do I have a lead gen process? Do I have a nurture, education, marketing process? Do I have a sales process? Do I have offers and automated delivery and program and onboarding and client delivery process?
Yeah.
Do I have the supporting beams that are going to allow me to grow the business in place? And do I know how to use them? And if the answer to that is no, then I would love for you to enroll in the 10K online success system if that feels like the next best move for you. And stop buying these one-off things. Yes.
I'm just going to add in as a side note, if this is what you need, these 5 things, I'm going to take it back again to how we deliver it, because it takes a team of 11 people working with our clients Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern to 5 p.m. Eastern. I'm not kidding. Like actually full time in a 6-month period to complete this build out. And so if anyone is telling you it will take less than that, less time, less energy, less resources, run away.
Run. They're like, oh yeah, we'll get you set up in 90 days.
No.
You know what? And in all fairness, we do have some people who do that, and they have absolutely full-time availability to work on this.
But it's not the norm.
And that is not the norm. And most don't. So in all genuineness and sincerity, whether you work with us or not, which we obviously hope that you do, because we're very good at what we do. But if that doesn't feel like the next best move, that's cool. Like we're still here. We're not going anywhere. Please make sure that you are investing your money, your time, your energy, your heart into the programs, the coaches that deliver outcomes based on where you are and that one next level where you need to be.
Yes.
So we will finish this up tomorrow. Have a good day, everybody. Bye.
Bye.